video in my gift ideas series. This one is for honestly any kid, really, if you want to give educational gifts. But I feel like as a homeschool family, we really appreciate and most likely use these items more than other people do, so we definitely appreciate them more, and our kids really do enjoy educational gifts. And I feel like Christmas is such a hard thing because you want to give them the thing that they're most excited to open. I try to think about that when I buy my kids gifts, but I also like to think about what are they actually going to use, like all the time, because the gifts that you think that they're the most excited for, a lot of times aren't the ones that they end up using for months and months and months, or talking about for months and months and months. Every time they use something that, even though it wasn't the most exciting thing that they opened under the tree, if they opened it and they're using it all the time, they're like, hey, grandma gave me this, or oh, remember when Dad and Mom got us this for Christmas, or whoever gave it to them. It does bring back those memories of you, and I think so. Sometimes people are kind of like, they don't want to give the boring gifts. I definitely don't think these gifts are boring. I'm almost positive my kids would absolutely be psyched out to open literally any of this stuff. But I did want to share that even if you're giving this gifts and the kids aren't the most excited about it, the day they opened it, obviously they're going to be excited because they get to open it. But if they're not, like, it's not the thing they're shrieking over at Christmas time, it doesn't mean in a day, a week, 2 weeks that it's not going to be the thing that they're actually the most excited about. So I'm going to share you I'm going to show you some things that we have that we really love, and then I'm going to share you some ideas that we don't have, and I will show the pictures. I also had to find a way to link all the stuff in here, so I actually created a Pinterest page for my YouTube channel, and if you go there and you look under educational gifts, you will find all of the stuff and links to it. Now, I'm not saying that these are the cheapest links or anything like that. A lot of the stuff that I will share later in the video is from Etsy shops, which I think is really cool if you want to support local or small businesses. Obviously, they're not really local if they're on Etsy, but if you want to support small businesses, we'll say. I think these are really great ways to do it. I think these are really unique gifts, and they're not something that they're going to have or definitely won't be getting duplicates of at Christmas time. So I wanted to share those ideas, and if you go to my Pinterest page, which I will have linked down below, you can click on the items and it will take you to whatever site that they're from. So I have a variety of sites I'm posting from: Etsy's, a few homeschooling sites, Amazon, and a few more. So they will just, if you click on the item that you are interested in on my educational board on the Pinterest page, it'll take you right to that site and to that item. So without further ado, we will get into our video. The first thing that we got that my son Kane loves to play with, he got this for his birthday, is this, it's called 2-in-1 educational game. I guess that's what it's called. It's not very exciting. So it has all these there. You can do math problems, or you can spell out words, and then they have the problem here, and you flip the board up so you cannot read it, and you look at the picture and you try to spell it from the picture. There are many different ways to play this game. There's harder levels and easier levels for the ones just learning to spell. We actually use this during spelling too. When Kane has spelling, I will just get out these blocks and I will tell him the word, and I will just have him find it in the cube instead of having to write out his spelling words. Sometimes it's fun to mix it up, to think about how he forms his letter and how he writes his letters. So just having this kind of makes it a little bit more fun, because then he doesn't have to think twice as hard to do his spelling. He just has to think how to spell it and find the letter, which is super fun. The other thing that we got, and this is actually just they got as a toy and they love it, is this thing, and it's magnetic. So you can run your fingers over it and they go inside, and then you have a magnetic pen, and you can trace the numbers or make your own thing on the bottom, and then this side has all the alphabet. And this was something the kids wanted last year for Christmas, because they had one at one of their grandparents' house and they loved it. And so anyways, it's just really fun. You can use it as an educational thing, but honestly, Pretty much all kids just like playing with it because it is so satisfying. I love playing with it because it's so satisfying just pushing all the fine notebooks back in. I do not know what it's called, but I will have it linked on the Pinterest page. The other thing that I want to talk about is I think a lot more kids like books and like receiving books, and this goes back to what they're excited to open with on Christmas. And I know that books aren't always the thing that they're most excited about. Aubrey actually asked for books this year, and Kane, now that he is learning to read, is actually super into reading, and so we are going to be giving him some books for his level because we don't have a ton of books at his level, and Aubrey reads a lot. So she reads for 20 minutes for school, and that's a book that I pick out, a chapter book that I pick out for her typically. But she also reads at night before she goes to bed, and a lot of times just in her free time, she'll just go get a book and sit down and read for 20 minutes, just randomly throughout the day. So she has read her chapter books that she owns multiple times. So if you have a kid who loves reading, definitely books are a great gift. So if you do decide to give books, you can ask what the kids' favorite books are. If they have a series they really like, the other thing that you can do is ask what curriculum they're using if they are homeschooled, because then you can go on their curriculum's website and then you can get the books in their level. So Kane, we got this box at the beginning of school, and he's almost read all the way through it. There are a lot of books missing because he's read them, and these are just the ones he hasn't read. And he's ready for the box set B. So I will link the Good and the Beautiful down below. That is what we use, and they have really, really nice books. Even if you're using their curriculum and you just want really good books, they are very nice. Sorry, my nose is all plugged. So I will be getting Kane the next level of this, and I think it's going to be such a great book because he's really excited about reading now that he is learning, and Aubrey just wants chapter books in general, and I will be getting a few from the Good and the Beautiful from her because she did like the two that we got. We got 2 books from there, and she really enjoyed them and said that she really liked the style of books that they were. And then she has some, what are they called? Amelia Bedelia chapter books that she really likes, and there are a few more in the that she has her eye on that she really wants, so I will probably snag her those as well. But there are definitely tons of ideas for books, but I just feel like people are afraid to give books for Christmas, and you really shouldn't be. Books are The next category that is awesome if you're wanting to give something to help with education is Fidget Toys. So I spend a great deal of time reading to the kids, and it is very hard for them to sit still. Not so much Aubrey, but especially Kane at his age, and the fact that he's a boy and is just very rambunctious in general is very hard for him to sit still, and it is very distracting to me as a teacher when he is flopping around and just not sitting still. And instead of sitting there yelling for him to sit still, and even Aubrey really enjoys this and really benefits from this, giving them a fidget toy that they can sit there and do while you're reading, so they are sitting semi-still, still able to be moving and feeling like they are getting their energy out and feel like they're doing something, while at the same time giving you some quiet and you to be able to focus on what you're reading is really helpful. So we have a few things, and there's actually a bunch of things that we don't have that are actually going in their stockings this year because they've asked for them. One of them being a Fidget Cube. I won't share all the little fidget items, but I will have them linked on the Pinterest board if you are interested. But just these soft, squishy hand things are a good one. But the kids' favorite by far so far are Poppets. All of them love them, all the way down to Isaac, my almost 2-year-old. He plays with them. He loves them. They are super fun. They have them in all shapes, all designs. Aubrey really wants the Poppet bracelet now. She just learned that that was a thing. She really wants that, and a Fidget Cube, which is a cube with all sorts of different things on each side of it. We are getting her one for her stocking. We also were given this thing for Halloween for Isaac a couple years ago. And this thing is a little bit annoying because it makes the air sound, but it is really fun for them to play with. And then someone gave Kane this like stretchy, jello-y string. I don't even know what to call it. I will try and find them and link them down below. But the kids love sitting there and just wrapping it around and playing with it. Play-Doh can also be a really great resource. Just make sure the parent does not have carpet in their dining room, because we used to, and I despised Play-Doh for a really long time. But now that we no longer have that, Play-Doh is a little less intimidating for me. And then there's this one with the marble in it, and it just slides back and forth. This one is also a favorite of theirs, and they can just sit there and slide it up and down. It seems really silly, it seems really dumb, but they genuinely love that stuff. And then, nice. And the other thing that is super cool is a nice set of flashcards. So I have my eye on these to get the kids. I don't know if we're gonna get them for Christmas, but I definitely want them, and I think they were a great resource, and if they were gifted, it would be a wonderful gift for any homeschooling family, is flashcards. So we have just these cheap dollar store ones, and there's problems on both sides of them. And the problem with that is once a kid has learned and mastered that multiplication table, they like to put it down and then just work on the ones that they struggle with. But since they're two-sided, what if you know one but you don't know the other side? It makes it really hard to keep track of which ones you know and which ones you don't know. So the Good and the Beautiful, and I'm sure other places do have, I just found out, multiplication flashcards that are one-sided, so it has the problem on one side and the answer on the other side. So I could look at the answer, the student could be looking at the problem, and you just get to move on. And once they've mastered that one, you can put it up and just work on the ones that they're struggling with, and then just review the ones they've mastered occasionally. There's also a DVD that they sell. It's called Musical Multiplication, and it's supposed to be a funner, more easier way to learn multiplication because it's songs and all of that stuff. I think that would make a great gift for someone for someone in that age range where they're learning multiplication, or maybe have learned it but still struggles. I think that would make a great gift. They can just listen to it for fun, or they can have it implemented into their homeschool. If that stuff was a little too educational for you and you want something a little bit more fun, we are getting into that stuff. So the first thing is Bananagrams. So it is kind of like Scrabble, but a little bit easier. You can definitely start playing it a little bit younger, I feel, and I don't remember all the rules. It's been a long time since I played it, but it's something that we had as kids, and we really, really loved it. This next item is from a company called September & Co., and it is Character Matter cards, and they're character cards, and they are biblical, so keep that in mind for whoever you buy them for. But personally, I think they are so cool. You have 3 sets purchased individually, or you can combine the sets and you will receive all 3. It is Character Matters in Bible, Character Matters in the Home, Character Matters in the World. Each set comes with 25 character traits printed on individual heavy-duty, heavy-stock paper, all in alphabetical order. Our combo packs, all 3 sets, come with 75 traits. Home pack: attentiveness, availability, cheerfulness, confidence, contentment, creativity, decisiveness, determination, eagerness, and it goes on with all the different wonderful character traits that it goes over and talks about and teaches you. And it has, I think, just, if I remember from what I was reading earlier, it has discussion questions on the back and ways to implement it into your kids' lives, so you can work on it together, which is really cool. The next thing is a leaf Montessori puzzle that I found on Etsy. I think it is so cool when people can tell what kind of tree it is by the shape of their leaf, and I think it is such a unique thing to know. Aubrey is always really impressed when we're walking. She's like, oh, look how different this leaf is than the other ones. Isaac just likes leaves in general, but this one has the different shapes, and they're all the same color. They're all in green, but it has the different shapes and the patterns on them, showing you what that leaf is, so they can learn the shape and the design of the leaves, which I think it would be such a cool thing to do. Then we have this puzzle of the solar system. And this one, you take the pieces out and you can put them wherever you want on the board. And you can put them in there to learn where they go in the solar system, which I think is such a cute thing. And I think it'd be fun for the kids to just do on their own, but also it would definitely be fun to add into their education as well. And then this one is a moving solar system, and honestly, I think this one is so cool because they can move it up and down all the solar systems. And once they learn about the solar system, they could know where to move them and when, like, you know, in what positions they actually would go in real life, or they can just slide it up and down for fun when they're younger and they don't know any better. The next thing is for a little bit younger, but I feel like it's definitely something that they can do. They had so many different sets. They have trucks and cars. They have a whole bunch of varieties of these, and these are these little Montessori wooden puzzle flashcards, and they're called flashcards, so you put them together and then it's the actual flashcard once it's built. And this one is just vegetables, but they had many different options, so I have their site linked down below. This travel lacing game I think would be super fun for the kids to just, I think it'd be very educational, and they advertise it for being in the car, which I think is such a great idea because they could play with it in the car and still be getting educational and using their brain. A Newton's Cradle, if you don't know what it is, I will show you, but I think these are so cool. I had a friend whose parents have one, and whenever we go over there, the kids are obsessed with playing with it. It is. Then they have this Montessori object image matching game. So it has different flowers on the cards, and then it actually gives you the physical flower made out of, obviously they're not real, made out of something, and then you can mash them up to help them when they're out in the woods or the forest or the yard to be able to recognize the actual plant and put it with the picture of what the item is. I think that'd be a really cool nature study type gift. And this is a Geo Board. There's so many educational things you can do with this, but honestly, I'm pretty sure my son would just love playing with this. All of my kids really, but I definitely see him getting really into this because he could make things without having to be too artsy. Aubrey's super artsy and Kane is getting into art, but he's not like all the way in yet. So I think this would be a great compromise for him. Next is memory. Now, memory is a very simple game, and we just have, I'm pretty sure everyone knows what memory is, and most people probably already own memory. But we got the emoji memory a few years ago for our kids for Christmas, and now I kick myself for it because there are so many cool ones on this Etsy site. They have birds, they have plants, they have, I mean, I don't even know. I cannot even remember any more than that. Here, let me open up the site. Right. They have butterfly memory. They have sign language alphabet memory. They have Montessori wooden construction. They have cars, dump trucks. They have fruits and vegetable memory. They have trees, shapes, flowers, bugs, just so many different awesome memory games where they could be learning and working on their memory while at the same time learning something else along with it besides just the emoji faces. And I think those would be such a great gift for anybody. And the other thing that I think a lot of people would maybe find a little weird, but if you're buying for a homeschooler, is really awesome, is educational posters. So it can be in any topic. There are the human body, there are plants. This one, as you can see, is useful plants. There was kitchen plants, like plants you can use for cooking. There were so many different ones, and I think that that would be such a great tool and just really fun to hang in a kid's space, or if they have a homeschool room or a place in their home that they do homeschool and they kind of have it more decorated for homeschooling, I think would be so fun. They can be, if the kids are into birds, Aubrey is and Kane are both kind of into birds. Isaac's obsessed with birds. Obviously, he doesn't know the kind. He just gets very excited when he sees them. But I think having a bird one, or just any of them are so cool. So this site has a bunch of different ones, but honestly, they have hundreds on there, not on the site, just on regular Etsy. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them so many places. I just linked the one that I saw that dawned on me, like what a great gift that would be. And I just think it's such a cool idea for a gift.